Hello, how are you doing? Good afternoon. My name's Richard. Welcome back to Over and Over and Over Again. This is going to be a live watch-along. Manchester City against Arsenal. Obviously a big game, tough game for Arsenal. The teams are just coming out. I know we're running a bit late, but we will get there very soon. Coming up the other side of this. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Over and Over and Over Again, the Arsenal podcast. This is going to be live watch along Manchester City against Arsenal this afternoon. Russ says, good evening, how you doing, Russ? Good to see you in the chat. And Joe says, can't wait to get battered again. It might not be that bad. I don't know if you've seen the Arsenal team. I haven't had a chance to put all the graphics together or anything like that. But we've gone a different system, actually. It looks like a 3-5-1. 1-1 kind of situation. I'm not really sure exactly how it is. I mean, Man City's team is pretty much the same team. I think that played their game last week. They won 5-0 against Norwich. We've made quite a few changes from the Chelsea game. I say we have got 3 at the back. So it's Chambers, Holding and Kolasinac are 3 centre-backs with Cedric and Kieran Tierney as the sort of wing-backs. I think that's sort of how we're going to line up. We've then got sort of like a 4 in midfield, with Saka and Smith Rowe look like they're going to be right and left, with Ødegaard probably playing just in front of Granit Xhaka and Aubameyang up front on his own. So it's a different system completely. Really don't know how it's going to work. Not quite sure what the idea is behind it. We've also got 2 goalkeepers on the bench, Aaron Ramsdale and Arthur Okonkwo as well. I'm not quite sure why. Is it because we can't fill the bench because of all the injuries and stuff that we've got? I'm not sure. Jodie said there, we got Siad playing. That's enough. That's enough said. Well, yes, it is. I mean, he's playing as like a 3rd centre back, actually, which is a bit strange. Maybe Kieran Tierney might have been better off playing in that position with left kind of wing back. Looks a very defensive lineup, doesn't it? A kind of a 5 and a 4 almost. Although I'm sure the fullbacks will push on. And maybe Saka and Smith Rowe will try and get up and support Aubameyang when we're attacking, although how much attacking we're going to get to do remains to be seen. I did predict a 2-1 victory to Manchester City in the video yesterday. Nothing's really made me change my mind looking at the lineups. I just want to see a good performance. The game against Chelsea was poor, wasn't it, overall, and Brentford as well. And, we'll forget the midweek game for now because it was against a very weak opposition. But hopefully we get a bit of confidence from that. But I want to see a response to the 2 league games so far. 2 defeats without scoring a goal. And this is an issue that I want to see, really, because that's where we've maybe gone wrong in recent games. Joe says, where's Balogun? Why is he not on the bench? Is he injured? Yeah, I'm not actually sure. I'm assuming he must be injured because you'd imagine he'd have been on the bench at least, wouldn't you? Unless Arteta just saw that Brentford game and thought that's enough, he's not ready, so we'll leave him. Anyway, Arsenal obviously in the red. We're in the red kit today. We are going to be attacking the goal to our left, which is the opposite end to where the away fans are. We are just about to kick off. The players are just taking a knee. A lot of empty seats in the stadium, actually. I know that's not surprising at Man City. There seems to be a few in the away end as well. So that's interesting. But anyway, we have kicked off. Arsenal are kicking off, so attacking the goal to our left in our red shirts, white sleeves, white shorts. Manchester City, of course, in their sky blue. The ball headed forward there by Saka towards Aubameyang, but it's gone straight through to Edison, Manchester City's goalkeeper. So let's see how this new system kind of works, really. It's an unusual system for us, not what we've normally been playing, and we've been complaining that Arteta's been too rigid. So it's nice to see him try something different, and let's see how it works. Shane says, hi, Richard, lads in chat. I never feel like the way I do when the lineups come out than under any other manager. Yeah, I know what you mean. This is something different, though, isn't it? And I'm almost kind of pleased that he's trying something else, because he's been very rigid in his formation, which hasn't really worked a lot of the time, has it, with the players that we've got? So it's nice that he is trying something different. The personnel on the pitch, maybe, you know, we've got Chambers and Kolasinac as two of the centre backs, and Holding, you know, it's not exactly fills you with confidence against the Man City team that can, on their day, rip teams apart. But it is something different, and I suppose really we need to embrace that fact that he's at least come out of his comfort zone a little bit, tried a different formation. They must have worked on this in training, I'm assuming, and let's see what the result is. Tierney now being put under pressure there from Gabriel Jesus, but it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal on this near side, Arsenal's left. Nothing really, there's no pattern to the game yet after a minute and a half. These early kickoffs, we don't have a particularly good record, do we? In fact, the games that kick off early don't tend to have the most amount of goals in usually, do they? So anyway, Arsenal now looking to come forward. That's a good ball for Aubameyang down his left-hand side. There's nobody in the penalty area. Saka's trying to get there. Ball over towards the far post. Was looking for Smith Rowe, was it, on that far side? Was it Cedric, actually, really far forward? But there was no one really in the box there when Aubameyang got clear. Now Saka on this right-hand side. Good touch. He's faced by Cancelo. He does well, actually. Plays it back to Smith Rowe. This is a good ball across the area. It didn't quite reach Kieran Tierney. It was cut out there. And Manchester City now clear the ball away towards halfway. But it was a good header forward there from Kolasinac. Arsenal actually on the front foot in these early stages. We need to start well here. Kieran Tierney thought he'd got clear down that left-hand side, but the referee has given a free kick, or is it a throw, to Manchester City, which was a bit of a surprise. But anyway, Kieran Tierney was about to take the throw for Arsenal, and it's gone to Manchester City, which Bernardo Silva is going to leave for Kyle Walker, who's playing right back for Manchester City today, following a good Euros tournament there, didn't he, for England? Ball was played forward there in midfield again by Arsenal on the front foot in this game. We've got Man City penned back a little bit. Obviously, they're not panicking at this stage. Mark Darby's in the chat. How you doing, mate? Thanks for tuning in. How you doing? Hope you're well. And Joe says 11 years ago today, we lost 8-2. It was 10 years ago today, actually. It was 10 years, that game, which was quite an interesting game. I was there. And, yeah, the less said about that, the better, probably. Probably not the best day to be going back to Manchester on that anniversary, is it? A ball played over the top there by Manchester City. Was looking for Ferran Torres, but it ran all the way through to Bernd Leno. And Manchester City, that's their first real attack, actually. A long ball played over the top. I think it was Kyle Walker. Tried to find Torres, but it ran through comfortably to Bernd Leno, who kicks it long, actually, up that far side. Looking for Ødegaard. It looks like it's Smith Rowe and Xhaka in the middle, actually. And Ødegaard's going out over onto that right-hand side to support. Saka's actually almost playing like maybe the second striker, perhaps. That almost his role. He is over on that right-hand side. But we'll see. I mean, we've played, just over 4 minutes. Arsenal are trying to play it out from the back. Now, Kieran Tierney right on this touchline, keeps it in. It's a good turn there from Smith Rowe. He's done well. Smith Rowe down his left-hand side, drifting infield. He's got two players for support in front of him. So Saka and Aubameyang. He finds Saka. There's space outside to Cedric Suarez. Can he get a cross in? He comes back, cuts back inside. Ball played into the box there. It wasn't a great ball, actually, by Rob Holding, I think it was. But Arsenal still keeping the pressure on. It's been a good start, actually, from Arsenal. And that's the switch of play there from Ødegaard to this near side to Tierney. Whips across it towards a far post. Saka was coming in, was he? Defender just got in front of it. Was Saka. It was a Cancelo actually defending it well there for Manchester City. I think Saka's got his header in. Good switch of play actually there. It was Ødegaard to Kieran Tierney. Whipped the ball into the far post. Saka just briefly got the wrong side. But he couldn't quite get enough of a contact on it to put it on target. And it's gone behind for a goal kick. And Russ says, I can't wait to utilise the two goalkeepers on the bench. Yeah, exactly. Very, very strange decision that. I don't know why we've got 2 goalkeepers on the bench. Maybe he's going to play Ramsdale up front in the second half if we're losing. And Joe says, where's Pepe as well? Yeah, I don't know, unless he's injured or tested positive for COVID or God knows what. Anyway, let's worry about the players that we've got on the pitch at the moment, the 11, because we've started well. We have started well in this game, nearly 6 minutes played. And, you know, we've had a lot of good possession in the final Manchester City third of the pitch here. And we've had 1 or 2 little opportunities, little moments. I'll say Saka just had that little chance at the far post. And Aubameyang put a cross in not long before that as well. So we've certainly started on the front foot in this game, which we needed to do. Quite often in these games against Man City, the game's been dead by half time, hasn't it? Man City have come out fast, scored early, and the game's been dead. So it was important that we did start on the front foot, and we have. It's been a decent start from Arsenal, but Man City now are trying to settle down, get some passing together. Obviously, we know that they're going to be dangerous, and here they come through the midfield again. A long ball over the top from Bernardo Silva, looking for Gabriel Jesus. He's done well, actually. Plays it inside into the penalty area. Bernardo Silva, can he get a cross in? No, Gundogan, sorry. He finds Jesus again. Jesus puts a cross into the far post. Header comes in. And Man City have scored. It's Gundogan. Their first attack. And Manchester City have scored. And after a good start as well, it's not the start that we wanted. We said Man City tend to get early goals against us. And that's exactly what they've just done there. It was Jesus with the cross, actually. He did well. It was a good cross to the far post. He did well there to beat Kieran Tierney. Played the ball inside. Actually, it was Bernardo Silva, sorry, with a cross. He did really well. Bernardo Silva played it back to Jesus. And Jesus crossed to the far post. And again, we've got a ball into the 6-yard box. And one of the smaller players has out-jumped. Is it Rob Holding again? It was Callum Chambers. And Leno could only push it into the roof of the net. Terrible defending that. How can Callum Chambers be beaten in the air by Gundogan, who's 4 inches shorter than him? But it's not the first time we've conceded goals like that, is it? Leno didn't have much chance with that. He tried to flick it over the bar, but he couldn't quite manage it. It's gone into the roof of the net. And Man City won up in 7 minutes, not the start that we needed, which was a shame because we had started pretty brightly as well. Joe says their problem with City, they will hit you well on a break. So let's be careful. Well, they've just done that, haven't they? Just as we say that. And Russ says, I might turn off now and get on with my Saturday. Well, yeah, that's probably a good idea if we're totally honest. But anyway, let's not give up yet. You know, there's loads of time. Let's see how we respond now to the goal, because we had started pretty well. You know, we had. So, you know, let's see how we respond to that goal, because I think that's important now, isn't it? If we can somehow find a way back, somehow find an equaliser, you never know. Man City haven't been in the greatest of form, have they, recently? I know that they did win 5-0 last week, but that was against a very, very poor Norwich side. Let's be clear about that. So, you know, we don't need to read too much into that. But yeah, I suppose it's a typical start, isn't it, for Arsenal in these games? Man City coming forward again. Must admit, if they get another goal quite quickly, then I think we might all have to join Russ and getting on with our Saturday, because it could end up being quite embarrassing. But City now, again, coming forward. Another cross into the box. Another free header. Good save from Leno, actually, that time. But another free header inside the penalty area. And as Bargav says there, another header given up against a 5-foot City. Last year Sterling, this year Gundogan. Yeah, exactly. I said it in the show there just a minute ago. It's happened too many times. I can't understand how that can keep happening. You know, it's ridiculous. And they had a free header just then as well. Similar move. And that was a good save from Leno, actually, to keep out that header. I think it might have been Gundogan again, actually, or maybe Jesus. But yeah, very, very poor defending. And these are the sort of goals that we can't afford to concede against a team like Manchester City. We can't afford soft goals, because it makes our job even more difficult, doesn't it? And it's only 10 minutes gone, and it is only 1-0, but it seems like a long way back already, doesn't it? City coming forward again. and that was Gundogan, and it's a free kick. He was bundled over by Xhaka, I think it was. But again, he got the ball on a half turn. Erdegaard tried to get him, and Xhaka did. And it is a free kick to Manchester City. Quite central, this, midway inside Arsenal's half. Let's see how we can defend this. Laporte's gone up from the back. Cancelo's up as well. It's Gundogan and Bernardo Silva over this set piece for Manchester City. You'd expect it to be a good delivery, wouldn't you? In fact, they just play it short. Now it's Gundogan again, the goal scorer. Finds Bernardo Silva, whips it in. It's gone all the way through. It's going to be 2-0. It is 2-0. It's Ferran Torres. It's terrible, terrible defending again from Arsenal. Embarrassing defending, in fact. It was Cedric, I think, completely missed the ball. It's gone all the way through. Chambers has gone down holding his face. I don't know if that's with embarrassment as being part of this awful part of defending there from that set piece. It was a terrible ball in, actually, from Bernardo Silva. Miles too flat and low in towards the near post. Didn't even beat the first man, although it ended up it did beat the first man because he just completely missed it. And it's a simple tap in for Ferran Torres from about 7 yards. Just terrible defending. Everybody missed it. Cedric missed it. Xhaka missed it. And it's gone all the way through. Holding missed it. And Torres had a simple task. And as Russ rightly says there, shambles of defence is absolute rubbish. It's terrible. 2 dreadful goals. It's not like Man City need any help to score, is it? You know, they've got great players. They've got great attacking talent. And we just cannot defend like that. That's just ridiculous. It's gone to VAR, actually. Maybe possible foul on Chambers. I will put 2-0 up because at the moment it is 2-0. But we're not quite sure. Chambers had gone down holding his face. I'm not sure whether or not he got a whack from Torres. VAR is checking it at the moment. I don't think it's actually been confirmed yet as a goal. It might. I'm not quite sure. They haven't put the VAR back far enough yet to see exactly what happened. Doesn't look like anything to me. Doesn't look like anything. I'd be amazed if this is disallowed. And it isn't disallowed. I didn't think it would be. Having seen the replay, it didn't look like a foul. Chambers went down far too easy, but it's just chaotic defending. We don't deserve to get that goal chalked off just for that pathetic defending. No, as Russ says, yeah, VAR won't help us. No, it won't. I don't think that was a foul. You can't disallow a goal for that. It was just dreadful defending all round. And if anybody tries to justify it by saying it was a foul, it should have been disallowed. It's just you're just living in crazy land because this is just awful from Arsenal. Awful defending. We shouldn't be surprised, should we, when you got a back three of Holding, Chambers and Kolasinac. I mean, what is that all about? And you're wondering why we've conceded 2 goals in the first 14 minutes, or first 12 minutes actually, at the Etihad against the reigning champions. It's just embarrassing. We spent the money that we spent in transfers and we haven't improved our first team at all. Yes, we've got some players out. It's not good enough. But anyway, Saka now inside the penalty area tries to drill across. It wasn't actually Saka, was it? It was it was Saka. Sorry, yeah. Tried to get the ball across to Aubameyang, but Manchester City clear it away. Let's see what their response is like now, because that's 2 quick goals, 2 soft goals, 2 terrible goals to concede. Let's see what happens. Our head's going to go down. They're showing the Arsenal fans there in the away end. Not much to cheer about. And we still haven't scored a goal in the Premier League. Coming up towards 100 minutes of Premier League action this season without a goal. And we've barely threatened a goal in those games, actually, if we're totally honest. It was a bright start from Arsenal. We did put City under pressure. We had 1 or 2 little moments, shall we say, no more than little moments. But 2 terrible pieces of defending as cost us. And we find ourselves 2-0 down with 75 minutes still to play. It's going to be a long 75 minutes, I fear. And once again, it looks like this game against Man City is going to be all over before half-time. Won't be surprised if Man City get a few more goals. They're pulling us apart at will. Rob Holding come across there and did okay, actually, to stop Gundogan. Of course, got the first goal. He's Man City's captain today. City now comfortably in possession in the centre circle. And they're just knocking it around now. I said last week's game against Chelsea, it was men against boys, and it's certainly looking that way again here. City again coming forward through midfield. Bernardo Silva now plays it out to their far side, the near side to Jesus. Comes right across the goal again. There's two Man City players inside the penalty area, completely unmarked. It's just embarrassing defending this from Arsenal. Couple of little passes in midfield. We're just getting pulled apart all over the place. Bernardo Silva there played it to Jesus on his near side. He pulled it back. There's actually two Man City players unmarked. And luckily for us that time, the ball bounced off. I think it was Torres. And it's gone wide of the goal. But if we continue to defend like this, this could be, we were talking about the 8-2, wasn't we, 10 years ago today. We could certainly be looking at something similar if we don't buck our ideas up, because this has been a terrible defensive performance so far. Again, from Arsenal, Arteta's packed the team with a more defensive lineup, hasn't he? Almost like a 5-4-1. And already we've been ripped apart for the two goals. Terrible defending, and they could have had one or two others as well. So it's not looking good, is it? I rushed back from playing football for this as well. Anyway, Man City now again with possession, but Arsenal do win it back in the middle of the pitch. Ødegaard plays it back to Cedric, who was one of the defenders at fault for the goal, second goal. Bargav there says, it baffles me. We can't do what Spurs and Chelsea do v City. Well, it shouldn't really baffle you that much. They're better organised. They've gone with a proper plan. They've got better players, and yeah, that's the reason why, isn't it? I think that's the reason. You shouldn't be surprised by that. I'm certainly not. I wanted to see a response today from the first two league games, and clearly we haven't got one. The Rever Knight's in the chat there. How you doing, mate? Thanks for tuning in. Liverpool fan, he says, Arteta is a disgrace. Holding and Chambers still starting. Saliba on loan somewhere. Well, yeah, I mean, that's something that Arteta's going to have to live with, isn't he, that decision? I mean, Kolasinac is playing centre-back as well, by the way. So, yeah. Yes, we're unlucky that Ben White and Gabriel are both unavailable, and they would be our two first-choice centre-backs. But you've got to have better cover, and possibly Saliba may well have been better cover, mightn't he? And it's glaringly obvious that these players are not good enough at all. And they haven't been good enough for a long time. It's nothing to do with this game. It's always been the case. They've never been good enough. And, you don't really know where we're going. I can't see where we're going. Nearly a mistake there from Edison, actually trying to play it out from the back. Was it Smith Rowe? It rolled across the goal. And you have to say that if we were going to score our first Premier League goal, if it came like that, that would have been probably typical. It was Smith Rowe. Or if he'd got more of a heavier touch on that Smith Rowe, it would have probably gone in. Edison probably thinking it's too easy against Arsenal, and Smith Rowe almost profited there from that. But it just bounced off him and it went across the goal. Man City maybe slightly got away with one there, actually. But anyway, we could have done with that maybe. A goal back. You never know, do you? You just never know. But that would have been a very strange one, wouldn't it? A little bit similar, actually, to the goal Smith Rowe scored against Chelsea last season. Only that one he managed to force into the net. And this one, he couldn't quite manage it. And Man City now looking to gain possession again. The thing with Man City is they know that they can make one or two mistakes defensively, and they've got the players up the other end of the pitch to get away with it, and they'll go up the other end and score 2 or 3. So we don't have that luxury, do we? We make mistakes at the back and we can't score at the other end. It's a recipe for disaster, actually. Rob Holding's done a bit better there against Ferran Torres that time, and he's managed to get the ball out for a throw to Man City on his near side. They're right, which Kyle Walker's going to take. But yeah, really, really poor from Arsenal defensively. Just nowhere near good enough. And, you know, whether that's right, you know, it is a disgrace that Saliba's out on loan and we're stuck with these players here who are just not really good enough. A throw comes in there from Carl Walker, but I think he was trying a long throw. We didn't get hold of it properly, and Kieran Tierney's managed to get it out, but it's only a throw again, which Walker's going to take again. This time it's still not particularly a good one, but we haven't really dealt with it defensively again. We do manage to scramble the ball clear, and it's gone all the way back to Edison. Russ says there, this transfer window has been a complete bust. Spent all money, and we are worse than before. Well, you can see by the policy of the transfer, it hasn't been about improving us now, has it? It's been about potentially for the future. I personally just feel it's about sell-on value, buying younger players reasonably cheaply and then selling them on in a couple of years' time for a profit. Maybe it's building a team of good young players for the future. But either way, this season's going to be a write-off. Man City coming forward again. Are they going to get a third goal? Ball played over the top. It looked an offside, but it wasn't given. And Man City is still keeping the pressure on over on that far side. But Arsenal do just about manage to scramble it clear. Saka now, was he fouled there by Grealish? Grealish hasn't had much impact yet, actually. Kevin's in the chat there. Kevin Channing, how you doing, mate? Thanks for tuning in. He says, hi, Richard. Kolasinac, relegated last year on loan, now playing for Arsenal v City. Why is he here? Out of his depth. Paid too much, so won't leave. Arsenal board are awful. No, you're right. That's the problem that we've got, isn't it? The contracts that a lot of the players have got. That's why we can't get rid of them, and we're stuck with them, and it's dreadful. The Reverend out there says, I think you're 1-0 down instead of 2 with Ramsdale. Not that it matters with your defending. That header, I think Ramsdale says maybe. Yeah, it was. I thought Leno was a bit unlucky, really. You've got to expect your defender to deal with that, haven't you? But he was maybe a little bit slow getting across, wasn't he, perhaps? But yeah, maybe Ramsdale may have saved it. But even so, it's still not good enough, is it? I don't think that's our biggest issue in this game, the goalkeeping situation. I think it, and yeah, and unfortunately also as well, what's up at the other end of the pitch. You know, we have got some good players, haven't we, in the attacking end? And you saw that the other night. Yes, it was West Brom reserves and all that kind of stuff. We know that. And if you give these players a little bit of time and no pressure, they'll produce, as we've seen. But when they don't have time, when they're playing against good opposition, there's a foul there from Cedric Suarez on Grealish. He was embarrassed by him, so he pulled him back, rightly gets a yellow card. Another player who's just not good enough. Why would he even do it? I mean, you know, Grealish is going to go down at the slightest little touch because that's what he does. He's made a career out of it. And now Suarez has got to face Grealish for the next, 65 minutes on a yellow card. And he's already had a bit of a nightmare at the back there for the second goal. So this is just not really very good at all, is it? Let's be honest. Man City just comfortable in possession in midfield. A ball over the top. That was Kieran Tierney, did a little bit better there against Jesus. He got caught out for the first goal, didn't he? The exchange of passes between Bernardo Silva and Jesus, and the cross come in. Tierney maybe should have done a little bit more to stop the cross. But no excuse for Chambers' his dreadful defending. Getting beaten in the air by Gundogan. And Kevin says there, Xhaka tried so hard, but on his own. But that's been a story, Kevin, hasn't it? That's been a story for a long time, hasn't it? He does try really hard. He works hard in that midfield, and he's got nothing. He's got nothing next to him. You know, him and Lokonga actually have been doing reasonably well. That was one of the better. Lokonga had been our best summer signing, actually, hadn't he? In those first 2 games, and he gets left out today. Ødegaard's come in, and you can't really have too many complaints with that. Although he's not really been in this game at all so far, has he? He's not the only one, of course. Lots of them haven't been in the game yet. Now we're trying to get an attack down this near side, but Kieran Tierney was looking for Smith Rowe, but the ball went straight out for a throw to Man City. I suppose the only good thing in our favour is like what usually happens. Pep ends up feeling sorry for Mikel, doesn't he? And he goes easy on us in the second half. I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar sort of game today. I mean, you just get the feeling here that if Man City really want to, they could really punish us. Actually, Edison's made another mistake. A poor ball out there. We've got a chance. It's going to be our first Premier League goal of the season. It isn't. It's a save. It was Xhaka, actually. We were just talking about Xhaka. There's a mistake from Edison again, actually. A poor clearance. A really poor clearance. Picked up in midfield by Odegaard. In fact, I think he was offside anyway, Xhaka. Probably wouldn't have counted. The flag was up. But it was a good save from Edison, but another poor mistake. Stuart in the chat there says, just caught up who scored for City. It was Gundogan and Torres, both in the first 12 minutes. Awful defending from Arsenal. Gundogan header and Torres with a simple tap in after some terrible, terrible defending from a free kick from Arsenal. But we just thought we might have got our first goal of the season, that shot from Xhaka, which was well saved actually, but he was offside. It was rightly given as offside. Mistake from Edison initially. I don't think we're ever going to score. Also in the chat again, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. He says, enjoy your weekend. We better call Big Sam. Well, there's been a few little joke memes about that, hasn't there, in the last week or so. But yeah, we need something, don't we? Clearly. And yes, you know, we need to keep a little bit of perspective. It has been 3 difficult games, hasn't it? You know, Chelsea and City, 2 of the best teams in the Premier League. That game against Brentford was always going to be tough, wasn't it? First game of the season for them, played on a Friday night, you know, their first game in that stadium with a crowd in and stuff like that. It was always going to be a difficult game as well. So, you know, what's important now is that after the international break, we've got 2 potentially winnable games, shall we say. Norwich at home, Burnley away before the North London derby. And we have to win both of those games now, don't we? We have to. And if we don't, then you have to wonder, don't you, what's going to happen? Orf says, hard to accept bottom of the table after 3 games with no goals. Yeah, that's looking like the situation that we're going to be in an hour or so. We've had another yellow card. This is Kolasinac for a foul there on Gabriel Jesus. He held him off, actually. Yeah, it was a trailing arm. I don't know how intentional it was. He was looking at the ball. But he has got himself a yellow card, Kolasinac. That's another one of our defenders who's got a tightrope now in this, last 75 minutes of this game. It's a free kick, though, to Manchester City on this near side. We haven't been defending. Balls into the box. This is going to be another opportunity for Man City to score another goal. It's Gundogan, I think, who's going to take this free kick. He's standing over it. Man City have got a lot of players in the box. It's going to be Gundogan to whip this in with his right foot. Played it in again to the far post. An Arsenal defender gets a flick. It's going to be a corner. It was Kieran Tierney, actually, at the far post who flicked that behind. And it's going to be a corner to City on the far side. Again, we need to see if we can defend these balls into the box a bit better than we've managed to do so far. It's going to be Gundogan again, who's coming across to take this corner for City in front of the Arsenal fans as well, actually, in that corner of the stadium at the Etihad. Let's see how Arsenal can defend this. Gundogan with the corner to the 6-yard box, but it's far too close to Leno, who gratefully grabs the ball and rolls it short to Rob Holding. Actually, Callum Chambers, sorry. He plays it square to Kolasinac, who just picked up that booking, of course. Now Smith Rowe. He's closed down quickly, though, by Gabriel Jesus. And Man City again have won the ball, but Arsenal picked it up again. Rob Holding into Xhaka. And Arsenal just playing it around at the back without really looking as though we're going to pose too many problems to City. A longer ball there. Looking for Tierney. Smith Rowe does well, actually, there. Was he fouled? Referee says no. And it's going to be a throw to Arsenal instead. Looked like that may have been a foul, actually, on Smith Rowe by Bernardo Silva there. Or was it Torres? He put his arm across him. But the referee wasn't going to give us that, unsurprisingly. And now ball played over the top for Aubameyang to chase down this near side. He's got Kyle Walker for company, and it's gone out for a throw to City. So we've played 30 and a half minutes. It is Manchester City 2, Arsenal 0. 2 dreadful goals to concede. Getting anything back in this game. A long ball there from Smith Rowe finds Kieran Tierney down his near side. He's wrong side of Walker. Kieran Tierney, was he pulled back there? The referee gives a goal kick and nobody's surprised at all. Was he pushed there? He got the wrong side of Walker. Actually, he did well. Let's have a look at the replay. Wasn't much in that, actually. He went down a little bit easily, Tierney there. There wasn't really much in that, if we're totally honest. But anyway, it wasn't given in any case. And City now coming forward again. But Arsenal win the ball back in midfield with Xhaka. He does well. Smith Rowe now on this near side. If we can somehow manage to get a goal back before half-time, you just never know. It seems very, very unlikely at the moment, if we're honest. But anyway, Edison now's got the ball at his feet and round about the penalty spot. No Arsenal players putting him under any sort of pressure. Saka does now, and Edison plays it out and gets it back again. Man City in complete control of this game. Wolf says there, we are soft to make any difference in this game. It's sad when you see City not playing at their best. They don't have to play at their best. You know, no one's had to play their best so far to beat us, have they? Unfortunately. And it just kind of shows where we are at the moment, perhaps. But anyway, I don't think the new system's worked. Anyway, I think we can be quite clear on that now, can't we? You know, we were talking about at the start of the game what difference it would make, the change of system, and we can clearly see that it's made us worse. So that's nice, isn't it? So you've got to give Mikel Arteta credit for that. He's actually made us look even worse than we were before, which is good. But anyway, Man City now again in possession down this near side. Again, it does look like men against boys at times. Man City almost toying with us, aren't they? They've picked the ball up again in midfield. They've almost played at walking pace at times, Man City. It's just so comfortable for them. The golfing class here is quite extraordinary, actually, for a Premier League game. Who's had a good game, finds Jack Grealish over on that far side, cuts inside the penalty area. Grealish plays it outside to Cancelo, I think it is. Oh, he's done really well, actually. Made Suarez look a bit of an idiot. And he couldn't quite get the ball across the goal, and it's gone out for a goal kick. But he's turned Suarez there far too easily. Far too easy again for Manchester City. Got into the box, but actually he kicked the ball against his standing foot and it went out for a goal kick. When if he managed to get it across the 6-yard box, who knows what might have happened. But anyway, it is a goal kick to Arsenal. 34 minutes played, so we're coming up towards the final stages of this first half. Difficult first half for Arsenal, of course. 2-0 to Manchester City. Those 2 early goals really gifted to them. And now we need to try to find some response somehow in this game. Can't see how we're going to do it, if I'm totally honest. But you never know. We're almost gifted a goal by Edison, weren't we? When his clearance was charged down by Smith Rowe and it went wide of the post. But other than that, we've not really created an awful lot, have we? We did have a bright start for 5 minutes, and you're thinking, oh, hang on a minute, maybe it's going to be different. But no, Man City coming forward again. And is that a free kick from Xhaka? I think it is. He's going to get a yellow card as well. The 3rd Arsenal player booked in this first half. In fact, it's a red. Xhaka's just been sent off. Oh, my word. I'll have to see a replay of that because that looks harsh. Russ says there, red card. Yeah, and Ulf says red card for Xhaka. Was it? Let's have a look at the replay of this. Is that a red card? It It was too. Yeah, I suppose both his feet were off the ground. He did get the ball actually, and he didn't really touch the Man City player. Kevin says there, oh no, red card weekend. Well, I mean, I think the weekend was pretty much ruined anyway before that. He never touched him. But he did. Both his feet were off the deck. And he did get the ball. So I don't know. I can maybe understand why it's been given as a red card, because both his feet were off the floor. But Arsenal fans look like they're leaving already, some of them. A lot of them have had to get up very early this morning to make that trip up to the northwest. And we find ourselves 2-0 down, and now down to 10 men. And we'll be without Xhaka as well for the next 3 games as well. This is going to be fun, isn't it? The second, we've got to play, 55 minutes with 10 men. We're 2-0 down against the Premier League champions. Wow. And they've now got a free kick following that foul, or so-called foul, by Xhaka. Let's see how we can defend this. Ball into the box. It's going to be a corner. Cedric that time does get his head on it. Puts it behind. And Orf says there, sad some supporters left at 5 a.m. I know some did leave that time. Yeah, you got to feel sorry for them actually having to making that trip at that time of day to have to watch this. Embarrassment, really. But anyway, it's a corner to City, which Gundogan's going to take on that far side. Get it curls in towards the near post. It's an Arsenal head on it to Torres. Goes to the edge of the box. A shot comes in. And it's deflected over for a corner. We don't really deal with a corner particularly well. It was Chambers' header, didn't go very far. The shot comes in and Kieran Tierney got in the way. It's behind for another corner. This is going to be on the near side this time, which Gundogan again is going to come across and take. He's not in any particular rush. And Matthew John in the chat there says, Arsenal manager going to be sacked. Well, I'm not sure if he will. Actually, he perhaps should be. But anyway, Arsenal got to defend this corner from Gundogan. It's going to be an outswinger this time. Again, Arsenal maybe deal with it slightly. We do get it out, but still Man City are in possession. Now gone over to the far side to Jack Grealish. I say he's not had much influence really yet, has he, Jack Grealish? But he plays that ball down the line. Manchester City again looking for this third goal. I was going to say to kill the game off, but I think the game's already dead. And Kevin says there, please Arsenal fans, remember this. Please Arsenal fans, remember this day, as it can't get any worse. I don't know. It probably can. Remember the 10 years since the 8-2, although we did finish third that season. And Matthew John there says 4-0. Well, I won't be surprised. It's a corner now to Man City. We're in the last 6 minutes of this first half. Since the red card, we haven't actually got out of our penalty area yet. It's been constant Manchester City pressure. They can obviously sense blood now, can't they? And it is a corner over on that far side, which Gundogan again is going to take. Gets played in towards the near post. Leno gets there with a punch. Man City again in possession of the ball. That's actually a poor ball. But again, Arsenal are far too slow. Just Saka that was it. He's got the ball taken off him. Jesus, surely when we get it, we've got to try and keep it a little bit better. Billy Trades in the chat. How you doing, Billy? Thanks for tuning in, mate. He's obviously a Newcastle fan. I was on a show with him earlier in the week. He says, I know what you're currently going through, but this is painful to watch even for a neutral. It is painful to watch. There's no doubt about that. And yes, I think we're both going through a bad time. Our clubs, aren't we, at the moment, with the wrong owners, the wrong manager. And I think we're both suffering at the moment. You never know. I think you guys might get a result this afternoon, actually, against Southampton. But you can't see where anything's coming for Arsenal at the minute. You can't even see where a goal's coming from, a point or anything. Again, Man City are in, are they? Ball over the top. It was Jesus there getting in between the two defenders, Cedric and Chambers. And he almost got on that, but it didn't quite fall for him. And Leno was able to get the ball. I suppose, in a way, holding on for 2-0 at half-time actually wouldn't be a bad result, would it? I suppose, in the circumstances. But anyway, at least we've got the ball in the Man City half now, although they've got possession of it. It was just a long clearance from Leno. But Man City again coming forward. It's Grealish down that far side. Grealish actually stopped his run there, or he might have got the ball back, but it's gone all the way through to Leno instead. I wonder if Arteta will make any changes at half-time to the system, because it clearly hasn't worked. Well, you say it hasn't worked. I mean, it was just terrible defending, individual mistakes. And also, Zia makes an interesting point. I don't disagree. He says, with this formation, Arteta went not to win, but with a hope we don't get battered. Arteta overthinks as usual. Yeah, no, you're right. I kind of agree with that. He'd like to do that against Pep, doesn't it? It's never worked. City coming forward again. This is Grealish down that far side, running at Cedric inside the penalty area. Grealish plays it across the box. It's a simple finish. It's Gabriel Jesus. It is 3-0. And that is that. Well, we knew it was that anyway. As all says, 3-0, brother. Yeah, it is 3-0. And is anybody surprised? Probably not. Gabriel Jesus, that was an assist. There, Grealish actually. So much space in midfield to run at the Arsenal defence. The ball played out there. I think it was Jesus initially who played it out to Grealish. And he just plays it back in the 6-yard box, and there's a simple finish. Another simple finish. It was Jesus who did well. Played it out to Grealish. No, defending again was terrible. Simple ball across. He couldn't miss. It was Chambers actually that Grealish made. Lovely ball across, and he took his time actually, Jesus, and he slotted into the net in the end. Very, 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 very simple. Far too easy. And I think that's that for Arteta. We've made another mistake at the back. Are they going to score another goal before half-time? We've got away with that one. But, yeah. I think it's quite clear that Arteta isn't the right man for this club. And I know the club have just backed him with the players, or was it the players he wanted? I'm not sure. But we've spent money and we're still producing performances like this. You know, yes, Man City are quality. And, another in the penalty area. Is it going to be another goal for City before half-time? No, we do manage to scramble that one away. But it's just so easy. Across there towards the far post from Grealish. It's headed out. It's going to be another corner to City. That was Kolasinac there with the header out. Kevin says, there's no system change since sending off. Now 3-0. I'm afraid the board will act. And I'm looking at who's available. Conte. Well, we do need to do that. I've known for quite a long time that Arteta clearly isn't the right man for this job. It's a massive, big job. And it's a massive rebuild. And, you know, the club have brought these young players in, but I actually don't want us to spend any more money with this manager because I don't trust him to be able to get it right. You know, it's not just this game, and it's not just this season, the 3 games this season. It's the last year or more. You know, I don't think the players are playing for him. I really don't, and I can't see any other answer. For me, this is worse than the last month or two under Emery. It's worse. The football's worse. The results are worse. We didn't actually lose that many games, did we? That season where Emery got sacked, sort of halfway through the season. We'd only lost 3 games in the Premier League up until like November. We've already lost 3, and we're not even out of August yet. And this is it's worse. It's the football is worse. What is probably the lowest point for me is the fact that the players and don't look as though they've got a clue what they're meant to be doing. That's the thing that's frustrating. You know, they don't seem to understand the system. They don't seem to know what they're supposed to be doing, and they're making basic errors. And you know, I've heard people say, "Oh, well, you can't blame the manager for the individual errors," but it's individual errors from different players all the time. And I think it is because they don't really understand the system, and they're not getting the players aren't supporting each other because they don't really understand what they're doing. Billy again says, crying out for even a modicum of leadership at the back. Yeah, exactly. Sad to see an Arsenal side with your rich history of beasts at the back defending like this. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, our successes certainly under Jules Graham were built under a good, strong defence. You know, and even under Arsene Wenger, you know, we when we had the invincible season, you know, we conceded very, very few goals, and yeah, it's not acceptable for an Arsenal. Yes, you know, you could say Gabriel and Ben White are both out of the team. Would they really have made that much difference? You know, the structure of the team's wrong. That's the problem. Shane says there, this is hard to see. It's very, very hard. It's very, very hard, and it's not going to get any easier in the second half, is it? Which half time is what, a minute or so away. We are in the second of 3-minute stoppages at the end of this first half, which couldn't really have got any worse, could it? We're 3-0 down. We're down to 10 men with that straight red card for Granit Xhaka. And quite honestly, I can't wait for 2:15 whenever this game's finished. But anyway, you never know. Stranger things have happened. But just remember a game that Man City were involved in actually back in was it in the 1990s, an FA Cup tie where Man City were down to 10 men. I think they were 3-0 down at half time and came back and won 4-3. But if people remember that was obviously we get on the other end of that. But obviously, this Man City side, before they go, are going to get a 4th goal. No, we do manage to defend that one. And also says there, now Arsenal is a challenge to any manager, and a lot of them will not put their names or reputation online. Yeah, possibly. That might be why we end up with Arteta in the first place. And Bargav says, no, we can beat Norwich right well. Who knows? Who knows if we can? Kevin says, Adams, Keown, Bold, O'Leary, Winterburn, Dixon will be livid. Yeah, I mean, and us as well as fans who watch those great defenders, watch those great Arsenal teams, having to watch at this moment in time it's tough. It is very, very tough. And yes, you know, you can look at Man City, they're a good side, but there's no excuses for again a really, really poor Arsenal performance. And it's a nice touch in the studio I'm watching here. You've got Ian Wright just getting a consolation hug there from his son. I think that's Sean Wright Phillips, isn't it? Billy says there, Keegan's Man City, Joey Barton surprisingly sent off that night. Yeah, that was the game I was referring to. Yeah, obviously that was exciting, wasn't it? I certainly enjoyed watching that comeback from Man City. They won 4-3. Maybe that's what we'll do in the second half then. Who knows? Maybe we'll come back to win this 4-3 with 10 men. That would be good. So definitely stay tuned for all that excitement that's going to be coming in the second half. And Orv says there, a great channel. Please put a like and subscribe. No, thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for the support as well. Great to hear. And Matthew says there, Arsenal relegation. Well, at the moment it's looking a bit like it, but I'm not too sure. Kevin says there, I know it's old news, but I do miss Wenger. Well, I think we all miss Wenger. The thing with Wenger was we always managed to. You knew where we were. You knew that yes, we'd have some poor performances here and there. Of course we would, but ultimately you knew he'd get it right. And we would finish in a position that was worthy of the club. But now we don't have that backup, do we? We know that we're not going to. Joe says, how we reckon that half went? Oh, well, I thought it was pretty good, Joe, yeah. I thought the first 2 minutes were pretty decent. And, yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know what you felt. I'm sure you enjoyed it as well. it was quite fun, wasn't it? Anyway, it is half time and it is 3-0 to City, as you can see there on the screen. Shane says I like if we played on Sunday nights at the moment. It ruins weekend off work, pissed off watching the team. Yeah, exactly. We played the first game on 2 weeks ago against Brentford. We lost and the whole weekend was gone. We're playing the first game again today, the early kickoff, and again we're losing, and again the weekend's gone. And yeah, so that's partly Sky's fault, isn't it, for putting us first when they probably know we're going to lose. But they probably enjoy it anyway, don't they? Because they hate us, don't they, Sky? So we shouldn't be surprised about that. Right, it is half time. I am going to go and get something to eat and a drink because I think I deserve it after putting up with that absolute abomination of a performance. So I'll entertain you a little bit of music for a few minutes and I'll be back for second half. So please stay where you are. Go make yourself a cup of tea, keep the stream on, and I'll be back in a few minutes. And we will hope, fingers crossed, for a little bit more to look forward to in the second half. But let's probably not expect it. I'll speak to you soon. Stay tuned. We're back in a minute. Hello, how you doing? I'm back. And my other computer's just gone funny. Anyway, there's been a few comments since I've gone. I don't know why my computer shut down. The other one, it's probably had enough of watching Arsenal be crap, probably. Anyway. Oh, the stream's gone down anyway. Probably just as well. Let's be honest. Oh, it's back on now. Let's have a look. Where did we get to with the comments? Someone's put there, Joe, fancy putting a bet on with me, we'll win £300. Yeah, I don't think so, mate. Russ says, yeah, Sky love us losing yet. And BT probably, yeah. Kevin said, if Arteta is a football man and has any respect, he must resign. Yeah. Matthew John says, I miss Wenger. Yeah, you're not the only one. I think most of us do, don't we? Having watched that. But anyway, let's hope the second half's a bit better, shall we? But I'm not confident it's going to be with 10 men. But let's see what happens. Should be, a couple of minutes away now to the second half. Actually, what I'll do is I'll eat this and I'll put some music on for you. I'll be back in 2 seconds. So we're getting ready for the second half, and we've got our saviour El Neni coming on, so that's going to be good. And they've got Zinchenko's come on for Man City as well. I'm not quite sure he's gone off yet for Arsenal. Just let me know what you guys think in the chat about that red card. Do you think that was the right decision? Or do you think it was a little bit harsh? Let's have a look. Who's gone off? But El Neni's come on anyway. I think it might be Saka actually. And Man City ticked off. Now taking a goal to our left in the second half. Walker's gone off as Zinchenko for Man City. And El Neni is on for Arsenal. And I think it might be Saka. I can't see Saka out there. I think it might be Saka that's gone off. Yeah, it's Saka. So, damage limitations by the look of it. Well, another ball came in there from Cancelo outside of his foot, looking for Bernardo Silva. If another little short player scored a header, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Man City enjoying themselves in this game. It has to be said. So it's been on Man City so far. Started the second half, 2 minutes played. Gundogan now midfield, scored that first goal. Now Zinchenko, of course, just come on. Now Grealish on this near side for City, their left. Plays it back inside to Gundogan. Now Cancelo's crossed there inside, across the 6-yard box. A dangerous ball, actually. But Bernardo Silva couldn't quite get on the end of it. So he says here, did a club ever give travelling fans their money back for the tickets? Yes, we did. That 8-2 Man United got money back on them tickets. We had a player sent off that day, didn't we? I think it was Carl Jenkinson, actually. But yeah, we got our money back on them tickets, which was nice. It's not going to happen today, though, is it? I wouldn't have thought. Well, I'd be amazed if it did. Anyway, let's see what the second half brings. We might end up getting a couple of goals back, making it exciting, mightn't we? Do you think? Man City again are just toying with us. I'm sure Pep tells his Man City team at half time, don't score 5 or 6 goals and embarrass my mate. But you have to say that if they wanted to, Matt there in the chat says, we are done out here. Get that clown out now. It's embarrassing to be an Arsenal fan right now. And it hurts me to say it. I kind of agree with you. And it's not just this game, is it? Let's be honest. It's not just the start to this season either. You know, you've got to look at the transfer window, the players that we've bought. You can see what the ambition of the club is. They've almost wrote this season off by the look of it. You know, just buy a load of young players that might be good in 2 or 3 years' time. Let's pay £50 million on a defender that, you know, funny people say we didn't need him, but clearly we do, because look what the other defenders are like. Just not good enough at all. Maybe we need some more defenders. Maybe that's what we should have spent more money on. Midfield short, we know that. We haven't got a decent right back. We're just short everywhere in this team, aren't we? You know, Erdogan's come in. Yes, we needed him. That's a good sign. And I think Lokonga's going to prove to be a good sign as well. But it's not enough. It's not enough. Grealish now coming forward. He's going to want to score. Another chance for Man City. Bernardo Silva. So is it a save from Leno or was it blocked? Shot comes in. It's deflected. And still we can't get it clear. Scrambling around there. Man City almost getting a fourth goal. That's a good switch of play actually from Gundogan to over on the far side. Jesus has the ball, plays it back. It's back to Gundogan, who's pretty much run this midfield today. Goes a shot from distance. It strikes an Arsenal defender. And now we've got a chance of a counter-attack. Smith Rowe tries to look for Aubameyang. He's gone a little bit wider than he wanted to. He showed no desire at all. And Cancelo just came back and robbed the ball off him. And he's our captain. You know, we're 3-0 down. We've got 10 men. You want to show some fight. Good save from Leno, actually, just there from Bernardo Silva it was. He got a little bit fortunate in the box, but he managed to get his shot away. Leno's made another good save. He's made a couple of good saves, Leno, today, actually, again. Certainly not really at fault for any of the goals. I certainly wouldn't blame him for any of the goals. It's just ridiculous defending in front of him, isn't it? And Leno there goes long with that clearance, but it's an easy header for Cancelo, I think it was. Oh, Diaz, actually. Now Man City coming forward on his near side. Zinchenko into Gundogan. Gundogan's going to be a candidate for man of the match, I think, in this game. I think going back to that red card, I think it was. I think Kevin put a comment in earlier about like Xhaka seemed to be doing everything on his own, and I think that was maybe a little bit of frustration actually. Coming through where he hasn't been getting the help and support he needed, and I think it was a frustrated tackle. And yeah, was it a red card? You can see why it was given. He was off the ground, and Man City coming forward again. Grealish on the edge of the penalty area. Grealish, his shots deflected away, but not very far into the edge of the penalty area. Man City keeping possession, just knocking it around on the edge of the penalty area, pulling us all over the place. That's a good ball, actually, into the penalty box there. Comes back, a shot from distance. Oh, it's gone into the corner. That's a decent finish, actually. It is 4-0. Ruben Diaz it is with the goal. And as Orf says there, 4-0. And even the Arsenal fans are ironically cheering that one. I will update the score just to keep you informed. I'm sure you're interested to see it. It's a good finish, actually, from about 25 yards into the bottom corner. And he's a defender, let's not forget. It's a good move again from Man City. Good finish. Curled it round the keeper. Oh, it was Rodri. Sorry, it wasn't Ruben Diaz. It was Rodri with a goal. Yeah, as Off-White said, it was Rodri, not Ruben Diaz. Apologies for that. But it is 4-0, and Russ says bottom of the league. Indeed, we are bottom of the league. They just showed Aubameyang's face, says it all really. And are we about to be witnessing the final 35 minutes or so of Mikel Arteta's reign as manager of this great club, or once great club, should we say? Shane says, yeah, Cedric was 5 feet behind defence. Neat finish. No, it was a good finish. It was a good finish. But yeah, I mean, far too much time. Our defence was all over the place again. And this will actually be our biggest defeat against Man City for a long time, won't it? Although we keep losing to them, it's generally 3-0, isn't it? Or 3-1. So this is, at the moment, our heaviest defeat against Man City for quite a number of years, actually. I can't remember last time they got 4 against us. And could well be more to come, as I'm sure we wouldn't be surprised. They've won their last 2 home games 5-0. Might well be 5-0 here. Oh, a shot comes across. It was deflected. And it was Torres coming at the far post, but he couldn't quite get there. He deflected off Chambers. It was a good burst into the box there. It was Bernardo Silva, and Torres couldn't quite get the final touch on it. Got deflected off Chambers, which took it away from the Man City player. And it's gone out for a corner though to Man City on the far side. We've barely been in there half the second half, have we? It is a corner to Man City. It's going to be Gundogan again with this corner. It's going to be an outswinger this time from the far side in towards the near post. It's flicked on. Arsenal do deal with it. Another shot comes in from distance. Got a deflection. Could have gone anywhere. It was Zinchenko with that shot. They're all wanting a goal now, aren't they? It was half cleared away. It fell to Zinchenko. And it was blocked again by Kieran Tierney in front of Bert Leno. And it has gone out for another corner, which again, Gundogan's going to come across to take. Which is in no rush to take. And you don't really blame him. Cross into the box again, the corner, and Leno comes and gets that one. Off there with a comment says, "This Arsenal, I don't know, only logo. To know the real Arsenal, watch season 03-04. Well, and a lot more before that as well. You know, a lot more before that. I mean, funnily enough, I'm running a competition on the channel. I will be in the next couple of weeks to win a book about. It's called Highbury Memories. It's a really good book, actually. It's definitely worth winning. I'll give out details about to enter the competition very soon. But I was looking through it. I was reading the book myself the other night, and Highbury's the Arsenal. That's the Arsenal that I fell in love with. That's the club that we was when we was at Highbury. Now, it's not the same club, is it? Excuse me. It's not the same club. And, you know, unfortunately, us as fans, we don't really get a choice, do we? You know, it's our club, and unfortunately, we are stuck with them. But it isn't the same club, is it? You know, you look at Highbury, how great that was. And, you know, you look at it and you think, that's the Arsenal that we want. And we'll never get it back because it's gone. And we're left with this new club, which is just going in the wrong direction. Man City making a sub now. Bernardo Silva's going off and Raheem Sterling is coming on. Of course, he does tend to score against us. So I won't be surprised if he gets on the score sheet as well in the last half an hour or so that remains. I did see Lacazette about to come on for Arsenal, actually. I don't think they've made that. We've made that substitution yet. He was warming up. But anyway, let's see what that change makes for Manchester City. Obviously, Sterling's going to be desperate for a goal, isn't he? Ball played through the middle there, and it was cut out by Chambers. Sterling's looking to get into the game. I'll say he will want to get a goal, won't he? I'm sure. And Lacazette is about to come on now for Arsenal. Won't be surprised if it's Aubameyang that goes off. And in fact, it is Aubameyang that goes off. And he passes the armband to his mate. Obviously, Aubameyang wasn't getting any joy there at all, was he? And I can't see Lacazette getting any either, really. But anyway, at 4-0 down, we may as well just have gone with two strikers up front and just gone for it. What difference does it make now? The game's lost. But anyway, as substitutions made. So Lacazette's replaced Aubameyang. And there's 32 minutes still to play. It's Manchester City 4, Arsenal 0. 4 different goal scorers for City as well. Gundogan, Torres, Jesus, and it was Rodri with the 4th goal not that long ago in the second half. Man City are now just toying with us, as in fact they have done for most of this game. Gundogan now in midfield. He's had a great game, actually. Grealish plays the ball out to the near side to Zinchenko. The cross gets blocked. But again, it's a Man City player. They've shown a lot more desire, a lot more appetite for this game. In a way, you can understand it. It's difficult for Arsenal, isn't it? Shane says, would you have taken off Uber instead of Saka? Not that big difference, really. Uber looked like he gave up. Yeah, Uber did look like he'd lost the interest completely. Typical of Aubameyang, though, isn't it, when it doesn't go his way? Yeah, I may have been tempted to do that at half-time. But you can see what the idea is, to try to get that extra man back in midfield with Xhaka going off. It's made no difference because we've been overrun completely in the first, so it's not really made any difference, has it? They might as well just left it as it was. Doesn't it? He's got no real ideas, has he, how to change things. And Mahrez is about to come on for City as well, just to add to the fun. Maybe City do want to score a few more goals in this game. Maybe they do want to put a marker out. Of course, they say they won 5-0 last week as well. They're coming forward again. Jack Grealish, I'm sure he'll be desperate to get a goal as well, won't he? He did get one last week, of course, one that bounced off him. Wasn't perhaps an actual goal, but Arsenal got a player down inside the penalty area now. I think it's Kolasinac. He's taken his boot off. Or has his boot come off? And as Orf says there, Mahrez on for more goals and humiliation. Yeah, probably. Mahrez and Sterling. That's not a bad bench, is it? Bringing off the bench players like that. It's going to be Jesus who's going off, actually, for Mahrez. Got his goal. Couldn't really miss, could he? And Joe says, put a 5 on us to win 5-4. Yeah, that's probably likely to happen now, isn't it? I think we can all agree that we probably will win 5-4 now they've got Mahrez and Sterling on. Certainly, if them two get in the game, there could well be more humiliation for Arsenal. We've just played the ball forward there, straight to Edison. There's no Arsenal player in the Man City half. You'd imagine that Arsenal would have to be trying to play for pride at least the rest of this game, but we don't even seem to be doing that. We've almost given up, or everybody's given up. And I do feel as though that is a sign that they're not playing for the manager. And I say, not just today, this is always going to be a difficult game anyway, even with 11 players on the pitch. But we were already 2-0 down when Xhaka got sent off, and we never looked like getting back in it. A cross comes in from Zinchenko. Again, poor defending. All the defenders missed it, but it did get a deflection on the way, and it is going to be a corner over on the far side. Again, a ball into the box. We're just not defending them at all. Where are we? Man City have took this. Comes into the box. A header comes in from Man City just wide of the post. And as Joe says there, it's the way we lose, though, ain't it? Yeah, exactly. It is the way we lose. And yes, it's not nice to lose any game, is it? But when we're making the same mistakes, to name the channel over and over and over again, which is what we do. Individually, we make the same mistakes, different players that make them, and tactically, we make the same mistakes as well. And that's, that shows me that we've got the wrong guy in the dugout. And it's not just him, all his coaching staff as well. I mean, what do they watch? I just don't understand it. It happened against Chelsea last week. We could all see what the problems were. Surely one of his coaches has got to say to him, look, Mikel, we've got to change this. We've got to do this differently. And we didn't. And today, even when we had 11 players, we were getting absolutely ripped a new one. The sending offs made very little difference, other than the fact that now it's just nice and comfortable training session for Man City, isn't it? Like it was a training session for Chelsea last week, wasn't it, in the second half as well? Man City have added a goal so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if they add one or two more, because we won 6-0 in a week, didn't we? The one thing, we wasn't getting hammered away from home at the big sides. We were losing a lot of the games, but we wasn't getting hammered. We were being competitive. We were keeping ourselves in the game, certainly in the scoreline. And now we're not even doing Chelsea, but they were miles better than us. Man City have been miles better than us. And these are the sort of teams that we are, we should be potentially looking at competing with, isn't it? And we're just not doing it. Joe says, hopefully when White is fit and Gabriel, we won't see Holding and Sayad again, or Chambers. None of them are good enough. And yet, as was pointed out earlier, Saliba's been sent out on loan. And he might not necessarily be the answer. We don't know. We've not seen him play. He might not have been any better, but you'd imagine he would do well to be any worse than the absolute shower of shit that we've got playing today. Sterling going in looking for his goal. That was better defending there, actually. I'm not sure who that was. Was it Holding or Chambers? One of those two. But it was a good burst into the box there from Sterling. A lovely turn. He mugged off Chambers. It must have been Holding that came across. In fact, it was. But Man City are just toying with us. That was far too easy again. And Rob Holding actually did pretty well. And he has managed to win a goal kick as well. The ball came back off Sterling. So 65 minutes played. Man City have had 80% possession in this game. We've only had 132 passes to Man City's 523. 520. They've had 400 passes more than us. And a lot of this, don't forget, it's no good blaming the 10 men because they were doing this before we had 10 men. That's got absolutely nothing to do with it. Joe says, how many years has this been going on, though? Going to be games getting battered 6-3 by City, 5-1, 8-2, 6-1. No, we have. And we hadn't really been, had we, over the last couple of years, I suppose. But this team looks as though it's likely to get battered against anyone half decent at the minute, the way that we're set up, the players that we've got. Just everything is wrong. Everything is. But anyway, let's see what the final 25 minutes brings. Now, Man City again round the outside. El Neni did well there defensively, and now Arsenal can maybe look to build a counter attack. Nobody's forward really apart from Lacazette, and we have won a free kick. I think that's our first free kick of the second. It was Tierney that was fouled. And it's a yellow card actually for Rodri, who did get that most recent goal. Oh, it was definitely a yellow card. Bit of a late challenge there. Could have been a nasty one actually. Jolted Kieran Tierney's knee. And of course, he's got enough injury problems as it is. So let's hope that that's not going to be too serious. But it is a yellow card finally to Man City, the first one that they've received today, and it's for Rodri. Now that's a free kick there. Looking for Cedric Suarez, who was making a run in the centre forward position. Actually, he's maybe better off being there than anywhere near our own goal. But Man City, of course, have easily dealt with that, as you would expect, and they're now in possession and looking to build an attack of their own. Grealish down this near side, got a lot of space ahead of him to run into, and he does run into it. He's got Torres outside him. Then come on, of course. He does tend to score against us, doesn't he, Raheem Sterling? He did for Liverpool as well. Often from Man City, he certainly has done over the years. Man City now. Ball played into the box. It's a free header. Oh, was that a save by Leno? I think that was Sterling. Sterling with a free header at the far post. Good little cross there from Mahrez. Sterling was in space, and Leno did get a touch, but I think that was going in actually. Again, Sterling scored a header against us last season. Good save from Leno. He's made 3 or 4 good saves, Leno, actually. He's maybe feeling a little bit of pressure for his place with Ramsdale now in the squad. So he had a good game the other night, didn't he? Sterling again curls one just wide. I said he was keen to get a goal, and it's certainly been the case, isn't it? He just had 2 opportunities there in quick succession. This was a short corner, came out to him, and from the edge of the box, he tried to curl it into the far corner, but it went wide of the post. And it's gone wide, and it's a goal kick. And Shane says, if the players have given up on Arteta, can you see any of them going above his head to get him out? Well, I mean, I don't know. My heart says we might do a Newcastle and get a 4-4. That was the other way around. We had a player sent off that day, didn't we? And Newcastle did get a couple of dodgy penalties that day, I seem to remember. I think some dodgy refereeing went on, didn't it? On that particular day. But anyway, of course, that game will always be remembered for that goal from Chictiote, won't it? Of course, no longer with us, unfortunately. But he'll always be remembered for that great goal he scored, didn't he? The equaliser for Newcastle in that game. Fantastic goal that was, wasn't it? I think it was the only goal he scored for Newcastle as well. But a brilliant strike that was. But I can't see there being any drama like that here today, unfortunately. I think all the goals that there might be any more in the second half are certainly not going to come from us. Grealish there plays it into Sterling again inside the penalty area. Does well, actually. Twisting and turning. Raheem Sterling, can he get the ball across? He does, but it's cleared away by Martin Ødegaard. Not really heard much from him. We're not going to hear much about the attacking players for Arsenal because we're not really attacking at all. Grealish now coming forward again for Man City. It's just quick passing from City in front of our penalty area. And they've just given the ball away, just as I say that. Maitland-Niles is coming on for Arsenal, actually. He must be absolutely devastated that he can't get a start with some of these players that's in the team. In fact, it's Martin Odegaard that is going off. Not really had any impact on this game at all. Don't blame him particularly. It's not, the system, the setup of the team wasn't really suited to him, but it's Maitland-Niles coming on. Apparently Everton are interested in him on loan for the rest of the season. So we'll see what happens with that in the next few days. Of course, the end of the transfer window is imminent. But he did come on the other night, had an assist, didn't he, for Aubameyang's hat-trick goal. And he's got on today as well for the last 20 minutes here. Looks like he's going to be playing in midfield as well, which is his preferred position, although he's got to be a better right back than any of the other right backs that we've got, surely. But anyway, let's see how he does in this game. Not the easiest game to come on at, is it, when you're 4-0 down with 10 men against Man City? But anyway, Raheem Sterling now got a bit of space and finds Jack Grealish. Grealish gets it back there from Torres, I think it was. He's got the ball again, Grealish. Man City are just Torres. It's Mahrez, sorry. Mahrez on the ball now. It's just so easy it is for Man City. We're putting no pressure on the ball at all. And Man City are just comfortably knocking it around. And no doubt they will create an opportunity at some point or other in the very near future. And you wouldn't be surprised to see Sterling or Mahrez getting on the end of it, would you? Or maybe Grealish. I mean, what a talented squad of players Man City's got. Yes, it cost them a lot of money, and they've got the money to do that. And you can see that's the way you build a team. You don't buy 19-year-old, 20-year-old players that may well be good in 2 or 3 years' time. If you want to be a serious team, you buy players that can come straight into your first team and improve them, as Man City have done on a regular basis. Obviously, Grealish being the latest one of those signings. And it just shows the different levels and the different ambitions of the clubs, doesn't it? It's the same with Chelsea. Look what Man United have just done yesterday with Cristiano Ronaldo coming back. Sterling now, again, trying to make a mug of Cedric. Plays it back. The cross comes in by Laporte, but it was easily dealt with that time by the Arsenal defence. But Man City are still in possession. I'm not quite sure what the possession stats are now. It was 80-20 to Man City a little while ago. It's probably gone up now. There's some interesting games on at 3 o'clock today, isn't there? So Newcastle against Southampton. I think that's going to be that could be an interesting game. I think Newcastle might win that. West Ham have played Crystal Palace, of course. Patrick Vieira still looking for his first win and his first goal as well as Crystal Palace manager. They're away at West Ham. So of course, West Ham started the weekend top of the league, didn't they? So I'm sure they'll be favourites to win that game at home against Palace. But I'd quite like to see Palace do well this season. And who knows, if he does, maybe Patrick Vieira might be lined up for a job at Arsenal, which would be nice, wouldn't it? But he's got a lot to prove still, hasn't he, at Crystal Palace, I think, at the moment. They've had a pretty slow start to the season. But then they've got a lot of new players. Now, City again coming forward down that far side, a ball in towards the near post, but it's cleared away. Stuart in the chat there says, Arsenal haven't exactly got crap players. No, you're right, they haven't. Because it's how you're playing that seems to be the problem. No, I totally agree. It's the system that we play. He's not getting the best out of the players that he's got. And I agree, we haven't got crap players at all. We've got some very good players, actually. Saka, I know he's gone off now. Aubameyang's still a goal scorer. Odegaard's a good player. Smith Rowe. Pepe is not in the group today. There are some good players. But unfortunately, there's also some really, really poor players as well, isn't there? Especially in defensive areas. Anyway, now Arsenal have finally got an attack going down that far side with Lacazette. He's got absolutely no support whatsoever. He made up about 20 yards, but he's just had the ball taken off him. Obviously, it's not a job for the faint-hearted, is it? Playing up front on your own against, with 10 men against Man City away, is it? When you're 4-0 down. So, at least Lacazette worked a little bit harder than Aubameyang looked as though he was prepared to do in that role. But Man City, again, they're inside the penalty area. Again, it was Raheem Sterling, but Rob Holding did well that time. Sterling's getting into some good positions, isn't he, against us, as he usually does. He did quite well. There's a good touch off his chest, but Rob Holding just came across and just managed to put it out for another corner to Manchester City. I'm not sure what the corner count is, but they must have had 8 or 9 at least. I'll just put out now. It's their 10th corner. I wasn't far off, was I? And Arsenal have had 0. But then you need to get into the other half of the pitch and actually have an attack to get a corner, don't you? Anyways, the corner's played short to Mahrez, plays it across the box to Jack Grealish, dinks it back in again. Again, Arsenal's defence is at full stretch, but we do manage to kind of half clear it away at least. Laporte now being held up by Rob Holding. And it's going to be another corner to Manchester City, this time on the near side, which Grealish takes quickly, goes short again. Zinchenko plays it square. Now it's over on the far side. City coming forward again. That's good from Mahrez. Drew into the box from Diaz on. It was a chance. It's Laporte who came in this time. I said Laporte had scored the 4th goal. He almost got the 5th goal there. In fact, he probably should have done it. It was good play down that far side. Good ball into the box and hit it first time. Laporte, and it's gone over the top of the crossbar from about 8 yards. Maybe should have done better there than Manchester City defender. But anyway, luckily he didn't score because 4-0 was quite enough, isn't it, really? But there are still 14 minutes of normal time remaining. There'll be a bit of stoppages. There's been a few substitutions in the second half, plus a few little, a couple of little injuries as well. But Leno there takes a long goal kick. And Arsenal pick the ball up with Maitland-Niles, who looks as though he's actually sort of playing in a right-sided position. Not long come on, of course. To feature, does he, in Arteta's plans? And I say Everton are looking to take him on loan, which could end up being a good move for both clubs. Now, Manchester City in again. Surely this will be 5-0. No, it's another good save from Leno, actually. If it wasn't for Leno today, I think we could have been looking at 8 or 9 goals. He's made another good save there from Sterling. He's never that good on one-on-ones, is he, Sterling, to be fair? But Leno did well. He stood up, held his ground and made another good save. He's made 3 or 4 decent saves, Leno, in this game. He's pretty much the only candidate for man of the match, isn't he? The ball played out to the far side. Man City then offside flags up against, was that Mahrez? And there's now an injury. Kieran Tierney's gone down again. He spends more time down with injuries than anything else, doesn't he, Kieran Tierney? He's starting to annoy me now. Russ says there are 4 players, Cedric, Chambers, Holding and Kolasinac, who shouldn't be at this club, starting a football game at City, yeah. And El Nenny's come on for the second half as well, another one who shouldn't be at the club. And Matthew says there, Bob the Builder can't fix Arsenal. No, probably not. Although I'm sure he'll do a better job than Arteta. Tierney's going to last any longer in this game. He's complaining to the linesman about a late he's had 1 or 2 today, actually, Kieran Tierney. They're just poor defending, which has been dreadful. And then a red card, of course, for Xhaka in between all of that. And then nice and easy finishes. And then the 4th goal from Rodri, which was a good strike. So we're just coming towards the last 10 minutes. The second half possession has been 91% City, 9% Arsenal. Incredible, really. It was 75-25 in the first half. So I don't know what that works out to overall, but it's not pretty reading for Arsenal. Anyway, Kieran Tierney is back on his feet, shaking his head. Didn't see the challenge on him, actually. %18 possession we've had in this game overall. More Arsenal fans are leaving the stadium. you've got to feel sorry for the guys who got up 4 or 5 o'clock this morning for this early kickoff to watch this absolute horror show, really, from Arsenal. As we're moving in towards the last 10 minutes of this game, it is a free kick to Arsenal for that offside, which Leno is going to take. Goes long into the City half. It's going to be a throw to City now on this near side, midway inside their own half. Very glum-looking Arsenal bench there with Saka and Ødegaard, of course, 2 players that's been taken off as the Arsenal fans again streaming out of the stadium. And you certainly can't blame them. But anyway, City again in possession of the ball. If they get a 5th goal, that'll be their 3rd 5-0 win at home in succession. They did beat Everton 5-0 at the end of last season, and of course Norwich last week. And Sterling there almost got on the end of another ball into the box. Shane says, is it too early for Arsenal to appoint Big Sam? Only a matter of when, not if Arteta gets a bullet. Yeah, certainly looking that way. The international break, Norwich and Burnley, if we don't pick up 6 points from them 2 games, that's it for me. I mean, it's probably it anyway, but that would be the time I would do it. In fact, if we don't beat Norwich at home in the next game, you've got to wonder whether or not he's going to be able to survive that. But anyway, we'll see what happens. The international breaks come at a good time maybe for us, actually, to be fair. Time to maybe regroup and see. I mean, another Mahrez now twisting and turning down that far side across his block by Kieran Tierney. It's going to be a corner to Arsenal. The Arsenal players high-fiving each other in defence there. Every time we don't concede a goal, we seem to think that's a good result. But anyway, it's a corner again to Man City over on that far side. They're well into double figures now, aren't they, for corners? Again, they take it short. Sterling over on that far side. Plays it back. A shot comes into the far post, and again, it was Rodri coming in at that far post, looking to try and get another goal, but the ball was hit too quickly, too hard, and it went out for a goal kick to Arsenal. I think he was onside as well at that far post. But 8 minutes to go in this game. There will be a little bit of stoppage time. There was just a bit of a hold up there for Kieran Tierney's injury. Goal kick there. And Arsenal now looking to come forward. El Neni. He's got Kieran Tierney outside him. He should have maybe passed the ball earlier. He's got it now, Kieran Tierney. But he's now got 2 Man City players around him. Smith Rowe has not had the ball much. Now he's had a run. This is good play from Smith Rowe. Plays it across towards Lacazette, but Manchester City had a defender in the way. But at last, we've actually mounted an attack in this second half. And we've still got the ball now. Cross comes in from Chambers from that far side, but it's just a terrible cross that's gone straight out for a goal kick. And Shane says, we just got into the City box. Yeah, we did. First time in this second half. It was good play from Smith Rowe. He's not really been on the ball at all, has he, in his second half. He had a little run there down that far side. Tried to play the ball back to Lacazette. It would have been a good ball if it had come off, but there was a Man City defender there able to cut it out. But that at least was a little bit better from Arsenal. Finally managed to get the ball forward. But again, we've got more defending to do. Unsurprisingly, Mahrez now over on that far side, faced by Kieran Tierney. Again, he whips the ball in. The header comes in. It's gone in off the post. It is 5. It's Torres with his second. We just get an attack, our first attack of the second half, and it ends up with another goal. Again, Man City are they going to win their third home game in a row by 5-0. Certainly wouldn't surprise me now. With 6 minutes to play, they've still got time to get more goals. Of course, it was Mahrez this time over on that far side, cut inside, lovely cross in between the two defenders, and again, a player of 5'8" gets in the header from close range to score against Arsenal. So, yeah, brilliant. Good cross from Mahrez, but where's the Arsenal defending? And a decent header, actually, but he was given far too much time and space inside the penalty area. I think Arteta, look on his face there, he looks as though he's maybe accepting his fate as much as anything else. No doubt he'll blame the red card. We're already 2-0 down, Mikel, mate. Sorry. We'd already been dreadful defensively before the red card. Obviously, that didn't help. But you can't be looking to blame that. I'm sorry, you just can't. That's just embarrassing, mate, if you do. We've been terrible from pretty much start to finish of this game. More goals, Manchester City. Shot from the edge of the box. Again, it's deflected. And it has deflected all the way back to Edison, who's come out almost to the centre circle. And Shane says, the Arsenal fans in the stadium celebrate the City goal. Yeah, we did that for the last one as well. There could be more to come yet. But Grealish now has been forced backwards a little bit by El Neni, but City obviously still in possession, as they have been most of the second half. They're just toying with us, really, aren't they? If they do they want to get a sixth goal? And that'll be the reversal, of course, of our winning the League Cup on Wednesday. Jack Grealish now just coming inside the penalty area on this near side. He's got two Arsenal defenders in front of him, so he goes back. But this is still Man City possession. Mahrez again. Can he get another assist? Plays the ball to the far side. This time it is cleared away by Cedric. El Neni chases it down, but again, Man City completely in control. So run forward and a shot comes in. Was that Laporte again? And this time it's deflected behind for another corner to Manchester City, which again is taken quickly and short. This is Grealish. Plays it in towards the near post. The shot comes in. It's blocked. And again, Man City players are getting to the ball quicker. We're reacting to things inside the penalty area rather than being proactive and trying to cut things out before the problem starts. And this has been our problem throughout, really. We're leaving spaces and then we're trying to cover them when it's too late. But now we've got another counter-attack here. Smith Rowe again. Can he get past the defence? He's done well. Smith Rowe down his left-hand side, cuts inside. Has he got any support? He goes down. It wasn't a penalty. It was just too strong. And Smith Rowe has gone down. Another decent run from him, though. At least he's trying to drive the ball forward when he's had the opportunity. He just hasn't had many opportunities to do so, has he? Mahrez in, thinks a ball over the top. Man City looking for more goals. Sterling is on this far side. He's still got the ball inside the penalty area, Sterling. Plays it back. Another shot comes in. Again, it's deflected. Man City are trying to shoot from the edge of the box quite a lot, actually. And we just always seem to have a defender in the way. And it is now going to be a free kick. 2 minutes of normal time. And that was the latest goal there. Again, a simple header in between Holding and Chambers. And quite honestly, we never, ever, ever want to see either of these two play for Arsenal again. So Arsenal have got a free kick anyway, midway inside our own half. So we've got a chance to launch it into the Manchester City half at least to relieve a little bit of pressure briefly. Header from Lacazette to Maitland-Niles, comes to Cedric. Back into Maitland-Niles, who does quite well actually, but then runs the ball out. And it's going to be a free kick to Manchester City on this near side. There'll probably be 3 minutes of stoppage time, won't there? 3 or 4, plus the minute and a half of normal time that's left. So we'll be very soon, we'll be put out of our misery. Now Mahrez running at Kieran Tierney again. He's done that since he's come on. Another ball into the box, looking for Sterling, just a little bit behind him. And again, it's a bit of a panicky defence from Arsenal, but we do manage to get the ball clear. Grealish now's over on that far side. He switched over to there. Gundogan now is probably going to get man of the match, I would have thought. He's been great in midfield for Man City. We've made it quite easy for him, but he's played well. This is again an attack from Man City. Mahrez does really well, and he's finally bundled over, is he, by Kolasinac. The referee says play on. That looked like a free kick, actually. Maybe the ref feels sorry for us now as well. But we just give the ball away. Smith Rowe that time, and that will be a free kick this time, will it? Foul by Lacazette on Jack Grealish as we come into the last, well, we now come towards the 90-minute mark, actually. Man City again take it quickly. Gundogan cross into the box. Is it going to be another goal? It's gone all the way through. No one could get a touch on it. Almost a 6th goal. Obviously, Torres will be looking for his hat-trick as well, won't he? Again, it's a quick free kick. Arsenal asleep. And a cross comes in, and there's Man City players right, left and centre attacking it, but no one could quite get a touch on that. Good ball in, actually, again. And this time, nobody could get a touch, which would have surely been a goal again. As we now enter stoppage time. 3 minutes, actually. Again, I think they probably feel a bit sorry for us. Probably been more than that, if we're totally honest. But anyway, it is going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Leno takes his goal kick. We are now into those 3 minutes now. Maitland-Niles wins that header. Lacazette brings the ball down well. Cedric now gives the ball straight to Jack Grealish. And our Manchester City going to add another goal to their total here. Sterling's running at the Arsenal defence again. Plays it out to the far side. Wasn't actually a great ball, but they still got a chance. The shot comes in. And again, it's a good save from Leno. You have to say it would have probably been double figures without him today. I think that was Mahrez with a shot there. Wasn't a great ball to Mahrez from Sterling, actually. He had to stretch, but he did well. He cut inside Kieran Tierney, got a shot in. And again, it's a good save from Leno, actually, down at his left-hand side. And he's made 3 or 4 of them saves, hasn't he, in this game? And I say, he's managed to keep the score down. So well played, Bernd Leno. About the only one who's really played more than a 2 out of 10, you'd have to say, really. He's had a decent enough game, Leno, today. Hasn't really been able to do anything about the goals. That's totally been the blame of the guys in front of him. But then we saw the players in the defence at the beginning, and it was a worry, wasn't it? Ball played over the top. Sterling gets a touch. Is he going to score? Or is it going to be another save from Leno? It is another save from Leno. He's looking, shouting at his defenders. A lovely ball again from Gundogan, who's absolutely been outstanding in this game. He really has. A lovely ball. Look at that. And another opportunity for City. Another player running off inside the penalty without being challenged. And that ball from Gundogan's gone through to Bernd Leno. And we've only got a minute of this suffering to go. And there's an injury there inside the penalty area to a Man City player, Ruben Diaz, actually, who's got a knock in on the face. I'm sure he's going to be okay, but it will add on another few seconds. And he is okay, gets to his feet again. Ruben Diaz. Man City have had 25 attempts on goal, and Arsenal have had 1. So we are now just counting down the time until full time. It's not long now, is it? We've got 10 seconds of the 3 minutes. There might be a little bit more now just for that briefing. Going to make any difference whatsoever. We've been well and truly beaten in this game. And in fact, there goes a full-time whistle. He didn't add on any more time for that. It was 3 minutes. It has finished at the Etihad. Manchester City 5, Arsenal 0. So we're bottom of the league. No goals scored, 9 goals against. And that was a pathetic performance from start to finish, really. Apart from maybe the first minute or two when we came out looking a little bit lively. But just dreadful, dreadful mistakes. Arteta shaking hands with some of the Man City players that he'll still know, of course, that he worked with under Pep. As far as I'm concerned, he can go back and work under Pep again, because I'm still in the job at Arsenal, as Russ says there. Arteta has to go right now. I don't think he will. I right man. The players aren't responding to him. Yes, we had a few. We've got a few issues of injuries and illnesses and all sorts of other stuff, but it's not good enough. The performances aren't good enough, and they haven't been good enough for a long time now. Arteta goes over to applaud the away fans, the ones that are still left in the stadium anyway, and he gets an applause back, and the players go over as well. But really, this is embarrassing. The guard is not looking very happy as he claps the away fans there. But yeah, that wasn't much fun, was it? Let's be honest. I certainly think of better ways to have spent 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon when the sun's out. But anyway, finished 5-0. Them 2 early goals from Gundogan, a header from close range, and then Torres after some terrible defending. Xhaka then got sent off for Arsenal. A 2-footed challenge, although he did win the ball, it was very clumsy and unnecessary maybe. And then just for half-time, Gabriel Jesus made it 3-0. And there was 2 goals in got the fall for good finish from the edge of the box, actually. Again, not great defending from Arsenal. And then near the end, it was Torres with his second. Again, a header from a short player from close range with a ball into the box from Mahrez. Made it 5-0. And that's probably flattered Arsenal a little bit, if we're honest. It could have been a lot more. Bernd Leno made some good saves, actually, to keep the score down. You have to wonder where we're going, where we go from here. Yes, it's been a tough start to the season with the fixtures, with the injuries, as I said, but the team looked lost. So it says, Bob there in the chat says, take your time with it in the Championship. Yeah, well, that might be where we're heading at the minute if things don't change. Shane says, thanks, Rich. Come on, you Gooners. It's hard to take. It is hard to take. What I wanted to see today, I wasn't expecting a win or anything like that, let's be honest. I wanted to see a response to the Chelsea performance. I wanted to see us really show something about us today. Arteta changed the shape of the team, and it didn't work. In fact, it made it worse. And, yes, you could say the Xhaka send. We were already 2-0 down. We'd already been pathetic up until that point. And it's not good enough, is it? And I don't know. I honestly, I'm not sure if Arteta can survive, actually, this now. I really don't know. I don't know what the ideas behind with the club are, what the ambitions of the club are. Do we just want to muddle along? And if we do, we'll probably keep him. But if we are serious, we need to get rid of him. We do. Russ says, thanks for keeping me sane. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been tough. It's been a tough afternoon. It's been a tough watch, but thanks to you guys for sticking with it with me. I do appreciate that. And I guess the good news now is we don't have a game for 2 weeks, do we? Until the 11th of September. And hopefully the international break will bring. We've still got the transfer window open. I don't want this manager to spend any more money. But I've got a feeling he won't be. So it may well be the case that we do have to put up with him after the international break as well and see where we are. But, so there are a couple of days after the transfer window. Let's see what that brings. I'm not expecting too much more now, if I'm totally honest. We can't get rid of half of these crap players, and you can't blame anyone for not wanting to buy them. I mean, that was a great shot window, wasn't it, for players like Kolasinac, who's supposed to be wanting to leave, Maitland-Niles, who came on as well. No wonder no one wants to buy them. They're just not good enough. Really not. But anyway, it is what it is. We wasn't expecting a victory here, was we? Let's be honest. We was expecting probably not an awful lot from the game, but we just gave up, didn't we? Our heads went down and we showed no fight. And I say that was before we had 10 men. And when we had 10 men, we just basically gave up. And for me, that's not acceptable for Arsenal. I'm sorry, it's not. And changes are needed. Big changes are needed. One of them has got to be surely the manager and the coach. So, but that's that then. It has finished here at the Etihad today, this lunchtime. Very, very, very poor from Arsenal from start to finish. It's finished Man City 5, Arsenal 0. Our heaviest defeat under Mikel Arteta, just 3 days after our biggest victory under Mikel Arteta. Really, really poor from Arsenal today. Yes, we were down to 10 men for a long spell of that game, but that's not an excuse for losing. We were poor all the way through. We got what we deserved, and we have to hope that Arteta is going to get what he deserves as well in the next couple of days. because it's not good enough and it's not acceptable. So that's that. Stay tuned to the channel because I will be, although it's an international break, give us a chance to maybe focus on some other things. I want to look back at some stuff from the history of the club. I'll be launching that competition as well to win the great book Highbury Memories. Now that is something you do want to be involved in. It's a great book actually. I've got a couple of copies. I've been reading it over the last day or two. Really, really great stories from guys that remember the great times at Highbury. So when Arsenal were a proper club, and yes, we've had good and bad. We had good and bad times at Highbury, but even the bad times, we were still a proper club. Now we're just a joke. We're a parody. This is a parody Arsenal. It's not a real Arsenal, is it? And maybe looking at that book and some of those memories in there, the old memories that we've got ourselves, you just realise how far this club's fallen. But it's a great book and it's definitely worth winning. So I will be releasing details of how you can enter that competition to win that book. So if you haven't done so, please subscribe because you do need to be a subscriber to the channel to be involved in a competition in the first place anyway. But I will release details of that probably early next week. I will probably do a review video of this game if I can actually bring myself to do one. And that'll be out in the next day or two. And I say I will try and do a few more different things next week with the international break. Maybe I'll say some stuff on the history of this great club and the launch of the competition. So, but anyway, thanks all you guys for watching today. Obviously, Russ in the chat, thanks for joining in. Shane as well. Loads of other people, of course, as always, as well in the chats. It's been good in the chat. Stuart Barber as well. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Joe as well. Orf as well, been a big supporter of the channel. So thanks to you for watching again. Really appreciate it. Matt Ginley as well. Another disappointed Arsenal fan. Matthew as well was in. Kevin, of course. Brilliant to see all you guys in the chat as well. And Billy as well, of course, a Newcastle fan. I'll be cheering for you guys this afternoon, Billy. I hope you can get your first win of the season. And Bargav as well was in the chat earlier as well. Always good to see. Well, good to see you in the chat as well. And of course, don't forget as well, actually, this week it's the Arsenal women in the Champions League playoff. I'll be doing some coverage of that game as well. I think that's on Tuesday, isn't it? So look out for that as well. If you enjoy watching and don't make you feel like jumping off the bridge when you watch them. So that's going to be good as well. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up later on in the week. I forgot to mention that before. So, thanks to all you guys for watching. I say, please subscribe if you haven't done. Please give it a like before you go. Very disappointing day today. I'm going to get rid of that score because it's depressing me. But it did finish Man City 5, Arsenal 0. Luckily, it's an international break. We've got 2 weeks without an Arsenal game. I'll keep you entertained on the channel in the meantime. And I say covering the Arsenal women as well, I'm sure will be much more enjoyable. So thanks again. Speak to you soon. Take it easy. And of course, as always, come on, you Gunners. Come on. We've hit the bottom. So as Yaz once said, the only way is up. But is it with this manager? We'll have to wait and see. Speak to you soon, guys. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend if you can. I'm off to do something away from football.